Okay. Let us start. For you, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the second part of today, the basic of dermatology, is the function of the skin. Now, as you have seen, the different layers made by the skin, these layers, they are the most who plays the role in dermatology. Over 90% of the skin barrier function reside in the epidermis, of course. And it's the one who, which is the dermis um, specialized in protection. Stratum corneum was considered an innate layer because of it has no cells or nucleus. Then they are interconnected through intercellular lipids. That's why when you have a skin, a normal skin, it's humid, it's oily for some people, but in some conditions, the skin may dry. Then it leads to desquamation. This stratum corneum is multilayered tissue composed of flattened, we have seen, and corrected corneocytes surrounded by multiple planar lamellars sheet, enriched in ceramides, cholesterol, and free fatty acids. That's why when you palpate, when you touch the skin, it's um, it's smooth, okay? And the localization of these high hydrophobic lipids within the extracellular domain of the stratum corneum inhibit the outward movement of water. The movement of water is from outside to inner parts, not the contrary. Okay? Now, the main functions of the skin are 7: protection, thermoregulation, sensation, biomechanical function, excretion, absorption, and immunological surveillance. We have seen in each layer that there are specialized cells, and mainly in the epidermis. Now, let us go to the role of protection. The skin has a role of a barrier from the environment, from toxic components, from what everything we can uh, apply. And it plays again a role of mechanic, thermal, and other physical injuries and harmful agents. And it prevents from excessive loss of moisture and protein. Because, for example, in atopic dermatitis, there is a dysfunction of ceramide being proteins which are seen in the epidermis, and there is a genetic lack of ceramide in atopic patients. And atopic patients are those people who may present asthma, allergic rhinitis, allergic conjunctivitis, and asthma, of course. And it prevents from UVA radiation. And the role, as you have seen above, is played by melanin, which is seen in epidermis. Okay? This role, again, is seen Well, we have the skin as the epidermis, of course, as a waterproof coat, which protect the body against microbe, chemicals, physical agents attack. And you know that our skin contains billions of organisms, which normally lives with us in a symbiotic mode. Okay, unless someone has lost his immunity, like in HIV at the stage of AIDS, all those microorganisms, starting from Staphylococcus and other we don't know, just the role of this skin is played by the epidermis. Okay? And again, secondly, it has a matter of pH 5.5, which is this. What is this? Is it acidic or alkaline? Is yes. Now, when the pH becomes alkaline, it means we are vulnerable. It means that when you apply some topical steroid for a long time, this is mukorogo, where abacuruza mukorogo nyamirambo. Okay? Just they change the pH of the skin. Then the skin becomes vulnerable, which means you will have fungal infection, superficial fungal infection in adult, for example, on face, because normally they may live on our skin, but they are protected by the epidermis through its what? It's what? Acidic matter, which is acidic. Very important. Then the horny layer tight cell junction of the epidermis acts as a filter against bacteria. We have seen the cell structure. Okay. Lipid release, retard evaporation, and Langerhans cells arrest immune system. That, which means this is the first role, a big role of the skin, played by the epidermis. Thermoregulation. We have seen again. Our skin has a normal temperature of 37. Now, if you are exposed onto the sun or excessive cold, okay, the regulations is made by through the skin, okay, because of that vascularization we have seen, vasoconstriction, vasodilatation, okay, then that's why the body temperature remains always 37, okay. Now, this is achieved by filtration of the blood flow through the cutaneous vascular head. The role is played by the vascularization, which is complex in the dermis. Now, during one period, the vessel dilate, the skin redens and beads of sweat form on the surface, vasodilatation. Then, in a cold period, of course, there is a vasoconstriction, and you have less blood at this portion of the skin, epidermis, and reduces heat loss. The secretion and the evaporation of sweat gland from the surface of the skin also help to cool the body. But this is a small role. This is played by the sweat gland. Now, protection, thermoregulation. The third is sensation. The skin acts as a sense of touch organ to detect the change in the environment, such as hair, heat, cold, touch, pressure, and pain, and itch. This is made possible by free nerve ending we have seen on the skin, which are sensitive and resulting either voluntary or reflex activities. Why some conditions, skin conditions, make people to itch? It's done through these sensitive nerves. This is important for patients with a skin condition, as pain and itching can be extreme for many and cause great stress, like in atopic dermatitis, where people cannot sleep because of permanent scratching. The role of biochemical, biochemical function, mainly the synthesis of the vitamin D. You know that in the area where the sun is not is a concern, is an issue, like in Europe during winter, some people may supplement themselves with vitamin D tablets. Just the presence of sunlight, just there is a formation of vitamin D called cholecalciferol, which is synthesized from a derivative of the steroid cholesterol in the skin. Then the skin again play this role through the vitamin D synthesis. Now, knowing that the vitamin D is essential for the normal absorption of calcium and phosphorus, which are required for healthy bones. Okay? The skin also contains a receptor for other steroid hormones, estrogen, progesterone, and glucocorticoids, and for vitamin D. Now, the vitamin D synthesis is also a role and which will play in the role of biomechanical function. Now, excretion function. The normal skin excretes 400 ml of water per day. Okay? Waste products such as lactic acid, urea, sodium, chloride are lost through perspiration. Small amount of NaCl and CO2, ammonia and urea absorption. For example, the skin excretes sodium chloride in sweat, urea when kidney function is impaired. And that's why when the skin is impaired, urea, which normally is excreted through renal excretion, then urine is excreted in a big quantity from the skin. That's why someone will present itching, it is itching, for example, renal function has to be checked just to exclude renal failure. Okay? Because through this mechanism, normal excretion of in the urine is not done, then they are secreted via the skin because it's uh, an abnormal component of the skin. Then the skin starts itching. Okay, which means itching renal function has to be explored. Okay, now excretion function, absorption function, water soluble is negligible. For example, when you go to take your shower, the amount of the water which is in contact with the skin do not penetrate. Lipid soluble vitamin A, D, E, K, organic solvents, heavy metals, and for us, in dermatology setting, like 80% of our prescription are made up with topical, topical drug. typical drug, okay, like steroid, antibiotics, and even when you want to moisturize your skin using Vaseline, for example, we say that we are rehydrating the skin, okay? If you do not rehydrate your skin, it becomes dry, okay? And it starts itching, okay? Which means it penetrates through this absorption function. And the people who abuse those bleaching ointment, steroids made, or hydroquinones, just the role of toxic absorption of these chemical products is spread by this role of the skin. Okay? The last one is immunological surveillance. We have seen Merkel cells, Langerhans cells, mast cells, okay, in the structure of the epidermis and even in the epidermis. Then these cells, play a big role in immunological complexity of disease, recognition of allergens. Allergens are proteins, and master cells, when it's attacked, they rupture and liberate histamine, and histamine, when is present in the skin, it starts to make the skin itchy. Okay? Now, we return the immunological surveillance of the skin spread by these cells we have above mentioned. Any question? This is always, I give this in my tests. Okay? Just you have to retain the 7 functions of the skin. They are very important. Just this is a summary. You can go to, you can read further in Google. You have uh, these roles. Just retain that's the major function of the skin as these 7: protection, thermoregulation, sensation, biomechanical function, excretion, absorption, and immunological surveillance. Okay? When you connect the function and the structure of the skin, you see, if you don't know the structure of the skin, you cannot or understand well the function of the skin. Okay? Yes. Any question? Butare, any question? Who yet?
Yes, no question.
Hello?
No question.
Mwabyumvise byose? Okay.